group Common Ground.
Common Ground is a group of farm women who want to be a resource for consumers who want to know more about how their food is grown. In this segment, we talk with a volunteer from Northeast Nebraska about the food supply chain.
The COVID-19 pandemic has certainly impacted everything, including agriculture. Joining me now with more on this topic is Ruth Reedy. She's a Common Ground volunteer. You were talking about the meat supply chain and how it has been impacted by coronavirus. Maybe tell us more.
As you're probably aware, the meat supply chain has been impacted due to some closures of processing plants. And there's plenty of livestock out in the country. The farmers are growing plenty of animals. It's just that they can't get processed into the meat that we see at the grocery store. And so it's caused us some issues and a little bit of concern, uncertainty, which seems to be the watchword for the whole COVID-19 thing, is uncertain. And so people are concerned about where their meat is. Will we have enough meat? How are we going to get it? I want to reassure people there's plenty of meat there, just going to take longer perhaps to get to them.
You made kind of an analogy to a road or a detour. Maybe tell us about that.
Well, especially here in Nebraska, we were pretty used to detours last year after all the spring flooding. And so I kind of compared the whole meat supply chain to that. We still had to get places, but sometimes it takes a longer time, just like that detour took a longer time. Or sometimes we just have to wait and take the trip at another time when the regular road is open. It may seem different, but we still are getting that product to the consumer, and it's just taking a different path than what we're familiar with. I think we've already seen a lot of the processing plants come back online. They may be processing at a slower rate, and they're doing everything they can to ensure worker safety, which is very important to us too. We rely on them, and we want them to be safe and healthy, and so, putting worker safety, at the top of the list. My husband and I sell all the beef we produce direct to the consumer, and I've had more contact with people asking about beef and if they can get beef from us than I've ever had before. And I work with a local locker plant here, and the issue there is that they just don't have the capacity. Again, it takes a little longer. You have to be patient. The meat's there. It just needs to get to the end user, the consumer.
Thank you, Ruth. And you're going to be back a little bit later with a recipe to share as well.